Welcome back, day 31 of Backyard Ceramics. Another beautiful day out here. Sunny day. The rock tumbler, I shut it off last night because it was just so noisy. So just had to turn it off. It ran about 12 hours and I think it worked pretty well. Let me see if I can prop this up. Yeah, that'll work. So, what side opens? This side. There we go. I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but the overall consistency of it is a whole lot smoother. And the old one was very grainy, and this, the borax granules were pretty soft, so it may not have even needed to go 12 hours. So I'm going to rinse this out. Or pour this into the bottle, clean the bottle first. It also gave me the idea of maybe trying to use this to grind up glass into frit. That way I could do it wet so that it wouldn't be generating dust. It would require something other than glass marbles to grind it, but maybe like some metal, like, I don't know, nuts and bolts, something like that. So I'm going to give that a try, let that run for maybe 12 hours. And today I'm going to fire the soap dish that I have glazed and glaze a test mouse with this, and since those will be in the same load, it'll give a good comparison to before and after running it through the mill. So off to work we go. So just for comparison, this is what the glaze looked like before it went through the rock tumbler ball mill. You can see how grainy that is, and then this is what it looks like after. Very, very smooth texture. So hopefully that'll get those ingredients mixed better to a point where it'll have more even coverage. The marbles, I was a little worried about the dichroic coating on these, the metallic coating on these, and it does look a little pitted compared to the ones. Let me get a fresh one. Okay, this is one that did not go through, and this is one that did. So there might be a little bit of pitting on the marble, but the amount of whatever that metal is that would have gotten mixed in with the glaze would be microscopic. So I'm not too concerned about that. I've got the soap dish and the test mouse glazed with the newly milled glaze on it. You can see the difference in the look of it. I'm hoping that translates to a difference in the finish too. And I've got the rest of those West Virginia medallions and test mice in there as well. So I'll leave this propped open and plug it in and start that up while I go get find some colorful glass to put in the rock tumbler and get that started as well. I have a variety of different colors, just colors I thought were interesting. This is the one I'm going to start with because I already had one that was already broken up. Awful beer, but pretty bottles. I'm going to break those into smaller pieces, and then I've got a variety of different sizes of nuts here that I'm going to put in there with it. So, no marbles, just these. Now, I don't know how fine these will be able to, rolling around in there, they'll be able to crush that. I am going to have some water in there as well, so that when I open it up, I'm not going to have a plume of dust that would, get in my lungs and cause complications. So we'll see how well this works. It might work a treat like it did with the borax glaze, or it might not work at all, in which case I'll just have some wet chunks of glass when I'm done. After it's been in there I'll check it after 12 hours again and see if I have to keep going up to 24 hours. Afterwards, I'm definitely going to have to pour it through a screen because I can't imagine that all this glass is going to get powdered to a usable grain size. So, this will be a fun, interesting experiment. And if it works, then I'll have some other colors that I can choose from. Maybe even just a clear glaze. And I'll have to experiment with different amounts of glass frit mixed with borax, or glass frit by itself, or glass frit mixed with clay. You know, so just like anything else, it's an experiment, going to be trial and error for sure. So let me stop talking and put that in the mill, get that going. Well, one difference is it's a whole lot louder with the glass in there. It's pretty obnoxious. I'm a little bit worried that the plastic container might get broken from the glass or the metal nuts in there. We'll just have to wait and see. Alrighty, these are still a little bit warm. Oh, it's stuck to the bottom. But you can see a big difference between the glaze on that. I won't it focus. And the glaze on this. Big difference. And then there's back there bisque fire, so I'll be raku firing the West Virginia pendants soon. And the rock tumbler is still tumbling, so once that's finished, need to sand those down. There's stilt scars. I don't like these stilts that have multiple pins on each side. I like the ones that are just one on each end of these, but I guess this it's a little more versatile in terms of what size you put on it. Anyway, so the rock tumbler is hopefully making frit, blue frit. Be really nice if that turns out. And so tomorrow I might be able to test that on one of those test mice, and definitely be raku firing probably tomorrow, depending on the weather. Don't want to do that in the rain. And I've got this nice soap dish I can put soap in. So another successful day. I'll be happy to try this glaze out on some things. It's kind of a earthy green color, but it's definitely nice and evenly covered. Much better than this is. I mean, this is actually kind of rough. This is smooth. Alright, that's all I've got for you today. So I will see you tomorrow. Where'd my dog go? Jack! Jackie, where'd you go? There's my boy. We will see you tomorrow on Backyard Ceramics.